So a lot of people ask me what's the best way to get hyperchromes. I've been asked a million times and I wanted to make a video showing the secrets. Using these will allow you to get hyperchromes much faster and become a whole better player. The first tip is robbing for their very minimum. Since hyperchromes don't scale with how much you rob them for, you can just rob for $100 and leave. A lot of robberies allow you to do this, so don't waste your time in one place when stores are open. People can be robbing stores while you're just sitting there getting money. You sacrifice money for time, and that's very important. The second tip is to rob as fast as possible. You don't want other people taking your stores, so you have to rob them before them. You can do this by using the jeweler glitch, and as you can see, some guy just missed it. The third tip is to bring a sword. This weapon is very game changing, and you will go a lot faster than somebody without one. As you can see, this is a side-by-side comparison, and the sword wins by a full second. This weapon is very overpowered, and you should bring in your loadout every time. The fourth tip is to bring a Forcefield launcher. This is a must-have if you ever take damage, as you move a lot slower if you take damage, and you'll just die faster, of course. I mean, look how fast it heals you for. It's actually insane. The fifth tip is to buy Premium Garage, or now it's called Pro Garage. Being able to spawn a car anywhere is just overpowered. You move everywhere on the map a lot faster, and it's pretty broken. And it's actually a requirement on some robberies. You can rob places a lot faster just by owning this, and it's pretty pay to win. The sixth tip is to find people to rob with. This is very important if you want to get a lot of hyperchromes. Some robberies are needed to have multiple people, and having them right where you want them to be is very good. I would not recommend solo grinding. Both the museum and tome require people. I mean, you could just skip these, but if you want them, then just grind with other people. You should know the bank also requires multiple people. It doesn't say that, but trying to grind this solo is just another level of difficulty. You have to play everything perfectly if you want to solo this. This is me 1v2 in an enclosed space. It is so hard. I have to go in. I have to somehow get out of here. If I take any bit of damage, then I'm gonna die. I could have not played that any more perfectly. The seventh tip is to check your map frequently. This is one of the most important tips. You should know where everybody is on the map and which stores are open or not. And you can even see when stores are about to close. This is the most important tip right here. You have to join small servers. This is very important if you want to grind hyperchromes. There's no upside in being a big server. There's a whole ton of criminals and a whole ton of cops. Like, why should I do that? I'll just be in a place where none of that exists. And I don't want people telling me that the odds are different. I've gotten many level 5 hyperchromes in small servers. The advantages of small servers are endless. Having no criminals to rob other stores is just amazing. And if a small server turns out to be bad, like a cop camping you constantly, then you can just swap servers. A very important tip is to make a route. You shouldn't rob stores randomly, you should rob them in order. Stores will always open in order if you do this. For example, after the bank you should rob jewelry, and then just go to museum or power plant afterwards. And I find this very important if you do this in a small server. A small tip to know is that you should know the fastest ways to each robbery. It's not a big tip, but it will save you time overall. And the final tip is to use a meta vehicle. You should be using vehicles with high acceleration if you want to get the robberies as fast as possible. The Volt bike with Premium Garage is just overpowered and it's the best. There's also other options you can use, like the Roadster. The Roadster hits 200 miles per hour, the fastest of any car. The concept is also usable. It has the best stats of any vehicle. And if you're rich, you can use the Torpedo. The Torpedo has the best suspension of any car, and the stats are pretty good too. Well, that's all the tips I have. These tips I find are very important, and I use them all the time. So if you want to grind for Hyperchromes, then I highly recommend using them. These are the best tips I can possibly give, so make sure to use them to your advantage. Anyways, thanks for watching and subscribe.